Between streams, I have finally cleared out all of the clutter, all of the junk, all of the random machines that were slotted down around this top level of our main compact machine here, so that now all that we have are our grids from refined storage. I also added 2 more disk drives here, and I think I might, at some point in today's stream chat, teach our system how to make some of these disk drives. As you can see, this one is almost full, and I think it'd be nice to just fill up these ones here. I mostly added them just for symmetry. It looked a little weird having just empty block space here and here with all of the grids on top, and so I have gone ahead and made 2 more of those. And basically, much like at the start of the last stream, between streams, I've gone ahead and tried to tidy things up just a little bit, moving compact machines down to this lower floor and moving a lot of automation over into this little automation cube over here that is the maximum 13 by 13 compact machine. People in the Twitch chat and in the YouTube comments did also point out that we can, in fact, of course, name the compact machine. So you'll see right now this one is called Steel Picks, and that is because it's responsible for making and using all of the steel picks to get us resources from those. We have our farming in quotes there. Cube, that is farming trees. It's farming like wheat, cocoa beans, netherwort mushrooms, as well as experience and milk. We've got the cocoa line with the arc furnace at the end here. Over here we have pearls and walls with Nick and Isaac making pearls of the ender variety, and of course compact machine wall, and we also have the machine making the 7x7 cubes as well. That's where those have gone previously. They were up over here, they're now down there, and hopefully should continue to work as usual. Over here we have a mess. This room is just a mess. There's not really any other way to describe it. There's so much stuff going on in this room. It's a lot of resource generation. You know, we're making all of our dusts, all of our ingots, as well as like sand, bone meal, sulfur. There's a lot going on in this room, but really it is just truly a mess, despite the fact that a mess would also be a valid name for really any of these compact machines. But we also have diamonds, which is here. I did have a bit of a weird issue, chat, with these 2 machines, where if I try and rename this one, you'll see this one is called Diamonds, but in Whaler, it thinks this one is called Diamonds. If I rename this to Reactor, and then this one Diamonds, you'll see it said it thought this one was named, it renames that one to Diamonds. And this one still has the diamond name. If I change this to Reactor, it changes this one to Reactor as well. I'm not quite sure why these 2 seem to have a linked name. I'm not quite sure what's up with that. Apparently it's a carry-on bug, maybe? But either way, it doesn't really matter too much. Here we have a room that is a bit stinky. This is, of course, our pressure poop injector and also the room that will continually make poop for us. We have the fishy room with all of our fish and, of course, the behemoth that is the auto-crafting room, which is where most of the stuff has been moved to between streams. Of course, in the last stream, we set up this massive wall here, creating marshmallows and chocolate, as well as teaching our system how to make the old crackers here to allow us to make the 4 small quad sminget. And between streams, I've moved over stuff like the automation of the old crushed
rhodochrosite.
That's the one. Right there, I moved that over into here. I also moved the setup that is used to make the calcium sulfate as well. So exactly the same stuff. We've got the diorite being made, and then the sulfuric acid as well being made, and pumped around over into the cache there. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Oh, I also moved the high impact compactor. That's now also over here as well. But again, the system itself is exactly the same. We have the diamond nuggets up here being stored. Everything is now just in here if it's to do with automation, as opposed to being in this room here, which makes this room, of course, much, much cleaner and much tidier. And speaking of diamond nuggets, chat, of course, one of the things that we have been working on for the past couple of streams here is trying to get 500 diamond blocks. And as you can see right here, we have got 348 in the system. That, of course, is not 500, but the reason for that is that at the end of the last stream, we did hand in the first 150 or so diamond blocks. Yeah, 152. And so if we go ahead and click detect/submit, that is all 500 diamond blocks handed in. And now, chat, we have completed every single one of the challenge quests in the pack. And so all that remains really now is extreme agoraphobia. We need to make a NASA workbench, go to the moon, go to Mars, and go to Venus. So I think, chat, actually, before we get into space here, one of the first things that I'm going to do in today's stream is try and fight the End Dragon. People have pointed out in the Twitch chat that we do have access to End Cake here, and it doesn't look too difficult to make. We need 4 bedrock, 2 Eyes of Ender, 2 End Crystals, and 1 regular cake. The only hard part here, I think, is the End Crystals, as they require gas tiers, and that requires that we sift a bit of soul sand, but we do, of course, have soul sand already. Let me just check if this requires a diamond stiffened mesh. It does indeed. That shouldn't be too difficult for us to make here. We do have all of our sieves kind of set up outside, so getting that going shouldn't take us too long. And at that point, we can head through to the end, fight the end dragon, and just kind of check that off the list of things that we can do in this pack. I don't think we're really going to get too much for doing it, but it's more about the principle of it, chat, right? The hard part is the cake. I don't think the cake's going to be too hard. We have milk, we have flour, we have sugar. The hardest part might be getting eggs, but I do remember a few streams back that we did set up like a little pen of eggs here in the overworld, of chickens even, in the overworld. And so I think it shouldn't be too difficult for us to go and harvest a few eggs there. I'm feeling like there should be a few like just in that area where we've left all our chickens, so long as I can, of course, find those chickens. Just one more piece of there we go, perfect. All right, so that's the 2 gas tiers. Now, I think over in this direction, we placed down a little fenced area and placed some chickens in there. There it is, chat. This right here is our little chicken area, and hopefully we have some eggs. We do. We have 1 singular egg, which, as luck would have it, is all we need. Unfortunately, we don't have a minimap, so I can't waypoint these eggs here. But nevertheless, I think we should have pretty much everything it takes now to make a cake. The only thing we're missing there is sugar, which, again, we do have. Our sugar cane is currently in a cache. Right there. For now, I'm just going to grab a few stacks and stick that in the system. I don't think we're going to need more than a few stacks of sugar cane going forward here, but that should be the cake taken care of. And at that point, chat, I think we have everything it takes to make this. We'll make 2 of these end crystals. We might be missing bedrock. We are indeed, but as you'll know if you've watched any of the previous streams, in order to get some bedrock, all we have to do is head on down to bedrock and mine some. Now, we can, if we want, chat, make ourselves some bedrock armor. That being the helmet, the chestplate, and the boots. We already have the leggings. We got these as a quest reward for, I believe, completing the first glitched challenge. And so, if we wanted to get this, we would need a little bit more in the way of bedrock, right? We need, what, 5, 9, 9 plus 8, so 17. More bedrock on top of what we already have. But that might not be too bad. I do think that we might, do we already have a bedrock sword? I think we do, right? Yeah, we do. We could also, if we wanted to, enchant that bedrock sword to make it a little bit more, more powerful. We do have, of course, basically infinite experience at this point. There we go. All right. So that should be enough, chat, to make a helmet, to make a chest plate, to make some boots, and also to go ahead and make the end kick. And so now, if we go ahead and equip all of those and head back up to our island, and of course head on into our compact machine here, we should be good to go and fight the end dragon. Now, of course, I don't know if anybody on the server has already beaten the end dragon. If they have, we're going to have to make some more end crystals to resummon the end dragon if we want to fight it. But I'm going to assume that nobody has done it yet. Hopefully. So let's throw this guy down right about there. Oh yeah, so bow for the crystals is a very good idea. Do we have arrows? We have 3 arrows. I assume we can make some more fairly easily here. We don't have that many feathers, I don't think, but we could probably, yeah, we can fairly easily make infinity for our bow here. You know what? Sure. So if we're gonna make some enchantments, we are gonna need a few books, and books, of course, require this pressed off. So we need some paper and we need some poop. Thankfully, this shouldn't be too difficult for us. Yeah, this is probably fine. Do we have our reservoir full of water? We do indeed. We can use this to put water down, right? Or can I not? Oh, we can. Perfect. Okay. So what we should be able to do here, chat, is if we do something like this, and if we grab, for example, like a stack of poop, we should be able to throw the sack of poop into here, throw in the paper, and then just do this. And that should, in theory, make us pressed off. Nice. So at that point, we can turn all of that into leather. Like so. And at that point, we can make a couple of books here. So 19 should be fine. Let's get our arcane ensorcellator. And for now, chat, this is a very temporary machine. Of that, I promise you. Let's go and quickly grab some Essence of Knowledge from our old tank over here, which has managed to deplete itself, actually. I guess we don't need the Essence of Knowledge out of the tank. We can grab it from ourselves using the Tome of Knowledge. There we go. And then we can put all that into here. Perfect. And at that point, if we go ahead and unlock that slot, we can put in 1 book and 1 Eye of Ender. That's going to get us the Infinity enchantment for our bow. It does appear to be rather slow, and so a conversion kit might be in order. Yeah, it's real slow. Hopefully, if we add some speed augments to that, we can make it just a little bit faster. There we go. And I believe right now our anvil might be in our system. It is. Again, for now, we'll temporarily place that down, kind of like right about here. It really doesn't take many levels, actually, to fill up the Arcane Ensorcerator. Like, we were at 44, and now we're at 42, so it fills up quite quickly. But there we go. That's the bow taken care of. So we don't have to worry now about any more arrows, and we should be able to get rid of the End Dragon's crystals fairly easily. All right. So now that we're hungry, let's quickly grab... I guess we'll grab a more small quartz ingot, as it's a fantastic supply of food. And then we can eat a little bit of End Cake. As soon as we get in, we'll chomp down on one of these guys. Perfect. And then let's see if we can't fight the End Dragon, chat. This should be, hopefully, fairly easy. As long as you can, you know, effectively destroy the crystals, which, you know, has never been my strong suit. I'm not a combat-focused Minecrafter, as you'll probably know if you've watched any number of my previous pack playthroughs. Perfect. If you could not hit me, my friend, that would be fantastic. I would just like to destroy your... No, I would like to fly and destroy your crystals. Alright. So now it should just be as simple as hitting this guy. What are the ores on the ground? I believe the ores on the ground are... Resident Ender? Oh my... Apologies for the sound, chat. You can shoot through bars? I never have any luck with that. Whenever I try and shoot those, it never works. Can't access our system here, which is a little awkward. Hitting him in the head does more damage? Really? It also increases my odds of getting hit by him. And given our current low HP, I'd rather just hit him in the butt. This is the the riveting fight that I know you're all here for. And there we go. The End Dragon has been defeated. Free experience, and also an epic shader grab bag, which gave us a shader usurper. Can be applied to the railgun, the minecart, the mining drill, the banner, the revolver. All right. But that's that, chat. Quick run through the credits there. And boom. We're done. Look at those levels. Oh, yeah, look at that. 62 Minecraft levels. My goodness. I had no idea you got so many levels for beating the End Dragon. Either way, let's chomp down on 4 small quartz ingot. And then let's get really into the meat of today's stream, chat. And that is, of course, trying to get ourselves a rocket and fuel said rocket. So, at the end of the last stream, we did set up an automatic aluminium setup with the aluminium pickaxe. So we're now making aluminium. And we should, at that point, chat, I believe now, be able to, first of all, get rid of some of this stuff down here and once again tidy up this area. But we should also, hopefully, be able to make ourselves the circuits fabricator, which I'll bookmark, as well as the electric compressor, which I will also bookmark. We are also going to need an oxygen collector, as well as an oxygen compressor, I think, which allows us to put the oxygen into some of these oxygen tanks. We're also going to need an oxygen mask, oxygen gear, the rocket itself, tier 1 for now at least, and of course the NASA workbench. I think those are the items we need. I could be missing one or two, but I'm sure we'll find out along the way here. So let's start with the circuit fabricator. I believe that is the first machine that we require. And I think we made most of everything that we need for it in the last stream. The only thing we were missing was the aluminum there. So let's put this down. Now, the Galacticraft machines do only take power from one side, so you do have to be careful about where you put them. But that is down, so we can unbookmark that. And if we want to make the electric compressor, the reason we needed the circuit fabricator was to make the advanced wafer, which is 1 diamond, 2 silicon, 1 redstone, and 1 redstone repeater. So let's request, chat, like 10 diamonds here. Our system should be able to make those using the high impact compactor. And once we have that, we should then be able to fairly easily make this wafer. Let me just make sure we have some actual silicon. I think the stuff from a refined storage will do. I don't think it has to be from Galacticraft. On top of that, we'll also grab, of course, our repeater, of which we have 56. Fantastic, as well as a little bit of redstone. How are those diamonds doing? They're doing just fine. Fantastic. So we'll throw you, and you. And hopefully, once that's done, that should grab us the aluminum wire. And at that point, chat, we should be pretty much good to go. Do we have what it takes to make the regular compressor? I assume we do. Iron should not be a problem. We do, of course, need to get the basic wafer here, which again requires the exact same setup, but just with a redstone torch this time, which is also fine. And then once we have that, we should be able to craft up the basic compressor. And we are going to have to use the basic compressor before we can upgrade. The basic compressor doesn't use power. It uses, I believe, just a regular old fuel. So if we grab some coal here, and or some charcoal even, and whack that in, we need to make ourselves some steel and some tin, both of the compressed variety. Thankfully, we do have both steel and tin in abundance. So getting those shouldn't be too difficult. It might take a while, and we might, chat, want to make quite a few electric compressors, because I don't think the one that we're going to make here is particularly fast. And if we look at the rocket here, to make the rocket, we need at the very least 8 of this heavy-duty plating, which is made with 2 steel, 2 aluminum, and 2 bronze plating. And the bronze is made with bronze there. So we are going to have to do quite a bit of compressing, and all the rest of the parts also require yet more heavy-duty plating. And so it is quite plausible that we could probably do with getting multiple of these electronic compressors, which really shouldn't be too difficult. As long as we get quite a bit of compressed steel and quite a bit of compressed tin, we could easily make 5 or 6 of these if we wanted to. I feel like we should probably, chat, actually upgrade to the electronic compressor, and then once we have that, we can look at making, you know, more tin and steel, so we can make more compressors after that, right? There we go. All right, so we'll pick this guy back up, and hopefully that is everything we need to make the electronic compressor. It is indeed. Once again, it only takes power from the left side, so we're going to put it right about there for now. And this hopefully is quite a bit faster than the previous one. Yeah, that is significantly faster there. And you do make 2 at a time as well, which is also very nice indeed. So while we wait for that to make us more of its stuff, what do we need for the NASA workbench? We need another wafer. And I think, chat, the hardest part about the whole rocket launching saga is going to be fueling the rocket, because in order to fuel the rocket, we need fuel. And the way you make fuel is by refining oil. And to the best of my knowledge, the only way that we can get oil is by scouring the overworld for it. And as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I did do quite a bit of scouring of the, surface between streams. And I didn't find any oil. So I believe that the only way we can find oil is by digging underground and looking for that oil, which could prove quite difficult. We don't need this much tin, game, but thank you. So at this point, chat, we should be able to fairly easily, I think, make a few more electric compressors if we want to. If we make just a ton of blocks of iron here and craft those up into, let's say 2 more. We'll do 1 for bronze, 1 for steel, and 1 for aluminum. So we can have one compressor for each of the requirements for the heavy-duty plating here. So 1 and 2. And then if we get ourselves a little bit more in the way of aluminum wire, and also if we grab 2 more repeaters, we should be able to make those fairly easily. I do wish the circuit fabricator here was a little faster. Unfortunately, unlike Nuclearcraft and Thermal Expansion, I don't believe Galacticraft has any speed upgrades. But there we go. So, boom. And boom. Nice. Okay, so we now have 3 electric compressors. We will have 1 for bronze, and I think we can request bronze here. Let's go ahead and request like 2 stacks of that. I'm not quite sure how much we need precisely, but that seems a good place to start. And then we'll do the same with aluminum. We'll do the same with steel. And hopefully, once we have a little bit of bronze here, we can do the same with bronze. Nice. All right, while those are cooking away, chat, let's head on back over here and let's see if we can't make some of these other pieces. So the fluid pipe here is nice and easy. Let's request a good number. Our system doesn't know how to make glass panes. Excuse me. I really thought that was something we taught it to do a little while back. Apparently, I'm incorrect. Either way, if we make an iron helmet, that gets us the oxygen mask. The fluid pipes with the oxygen concentrator, which does require an oxygen vent, which is yet more tin and steel. Thankfully, we did make quite a bit of tin there, so getting this really shouldn't be too difficult for us here. Tin canister, oxygen concentrator, and then oxygen gear. These both go in our Galacticraft slot, so here and here. We then do need some oxygen tanks. Again, these don't look too bad. We do need some red wool, which as of right now, we do not have. I don't know if our system knows how to make wool, but I believe it's making wool from string. And if I'm not mistaken, currently it's making string from hemp fiber, which I believe is currently in one of these caches. It is. So that should now allow us to request wool. I don't know how many beets we have. We have 1. The beets, of course, being used to make our red dye. And so if we are going to get more red dye, we are going to need to get the old spaxel hoe and beet seed combination going here with potentially a little bit of bone meal. Perfect. So that should hopefully be more than enough red dye. Wonderful. And that should hopefully allow us to make 2 of these. So we'll go for 6 and then make 2 of the heavy-duty oxygen tanks, like so. And we'll try and fill those both up with oxygen. To do that, we need an oxygen collector, which again is yet more of the same parts here. We do need another one of those silicon wafers, which is yet another redstone torch. I should probably grab the diamonds and throw those in as well, just in case we're running low here. We'll just do the 1, I think. These are all done, which is fantastic. And so now we should be able to do something like this. I don't know if they have to be in the specific orientation. It looks like they... Or maybe they do, and I just got it right on the first try, but also I'm not quite sure. But with the basic wafer there, back up here, do we have what it takes to make the old oxygen fan? We do indeed. Do we have what it takes to make another container? We do not. We're missing steel, so let me very quickly see if I can't grab some of that from down here. Actually, I'm going to stop that. I don't know if we need more than 24 heavy-duty plate, at least not just yet. So there's no point in wasting that if we don't need it. Nice. All right. So I believe we then need the oxygen compressor. This guy right here. That's going to allow us to take the oxygen that the collector collects and put it into the tanks that we're carrying. Beautiful. Once again, these are a little awkward. So we'll start with the collector. Again, the collector takes its power on the right there. On the left, sorry. And then we'll do the same with the compressor. That also takes its power on the left. And then I believe we need the pipe we made earlier. I think we need another fluid pipe here to move the oxygen. Like this, over and into the compressor. Beautiful. At that point, we can throw in our oxygen tank. And slowly but surely, that's going to fill up. Nice. All right, so that's going to fill up slowly but surely. Chat has also reminded me not to forget the parachute. That is also something that we can make here. I don't think the parachute is strictly necessary, but it does also seem like a very sensible item to have if you're going to embark on a space journey. There we go. We'll stick that into our slot there. And then now, chat, while we wait for this to fill up, let's see if we have what it takes to make the rocket. Can I leave items in the NASA workbench? I cannot. Okay, so I need all the items ahead of time. That is fine. Do we have what it takes to make all of these parts here? It looks like we very well might have. I'll get rid of some of the stuff in my system here while hopefully keeping on a hold of my wireless crafting terminal. So we need 4 rocket fins. Again, that seems very doable. We need 1 tier 1 engine. That seems like the hardest part of the rocket, but again, doesn't seem too bad whatsoever. What are we missing here? Do I need to have like a fully unused flint and steel? Is that the issue? It is. All right. And then as long as we have enough heavy-duty plate left, which we don't, we would have been good to go. Thankfully, though, we do look like we have enough compressed steel, aluminum, and copper left, though. So let's see. If we throw in you, all 4 of those, and all of those, chat, we get ourselves a tier 1 rocket. If memory serves me right, we also need some kind of launch pad. This requiring 3 blocks of iron and 3 compressed iron. We've not actually made any compressed iron yet, but that can be remedied fairly quickly. Like so. Is this guy full? This guy is indeed full, so we can go and throw in our second tank there and let that start filling up as well. We only need the 3 here, so I'll take that. I'll leave the rest going there just in case we need more. And that should get us the 9 launch pads. At that point, chat, we can head on out into the overworld, and we should be able to basically start setting this up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the old rocket on top like so. And now I believe the only thing we are missing here is, if we press F, the fuel. We need to fill this guy up with fuel. And for that, we need to find oil. Because if we look at the recipe for fuel here, the fuel is made in the refinery. So we need to get a refinery and we need to turn oil into fuel. And as mentioned earlier, I believe we're going to have to look around the world to try and find oil. I believe it's underground, and we're going to have to try and basically dig around to find some. I did do some flying around on the overworld, quite an extensive amount of flying around, and I did not find any. So I guess, chat, as soon as the server restart has completed, which will happen in 1 minute here, we will start looking. All right, so the Twitch chat has told me that, in fact, we can use fuel from thermal expansion to use to launch our first rocket. That being this fuel right here, the refined fuel from Thermal Foundation. We can make that in a fractionating still with naphtha, which you can make from liquefacted coal in another fractionating still. Liquefacted coal is a magma crucible with pulverized coal, which really shouldn't be too difficult for us. We can also use graphite dust as well, which I believe we have maybe 30,000 of as well. So yeah, let's make that happen if we can. We do also need a fuel loader to actually load the fuel onto the rocket here. Thankfully, the fuel loader, not that difficult. It does require some compressed copper, but the compressed copper really shouldn't be too difficult for us to get. As per usual. Just some copper over in the old compressor here. Like so. So let's see if we can't get ourselves a few of the fractionating stills. These don't seem too bad. They do require some gears that we've not made before, including some Constantan, which I'm actually surprised that we have, but glad that we have nonetheless. I don't remember making Constantan, but I'm not going to complain that we have it. So 2 of those, and then just a magma crucible. Let me check that, though. Oh, no, we can use the melter. I think the melter is a much more sensible solution, because the melter, of course, is eligible for speed and energy upgrades and can get very, very fast. And if I do check here, how much graphite dust do we have? We got 180,000 graphite dust, which is fantastic. So, very temporary setup, chat. Let's do a melter with a fluid duct. Head it over into... Actually, I don't even think we need a fluid duct because we can auto-input with the fractioning still. So I think this and this will work. Let's get 2 conversion upgrades ready for this. So also, let's get some speed and energy upgrades if we can. like so. So you're going to turn the graphite dust into liquefacted coal. From there, we're going to input that and turn auto input on. Oh, auto input is unavailable. Okay, in that case then, let's do the old fluid duct again. Like that. So hopefully that's going to make its way over into here. Once it's in there, let me bookmark the fuel as well. Once it's in there, it should begin turning it into tar and naphtha. We do need 200 millibuckets of it, but again, that shouldn't be too difficult if we put some speed upgrades in here. It does have the cryo-stabilized flux duct, and so despite the fact that it's using 169,000 redstone flux per tick, it was holding up for a second there. Let's take a lot of those out to really bring that power down. But there we go, that is working. Let's grab those conversion kits and throw those in as well. And while we're at it, we might as well grab some augments. There we go. And again, the same thing here. We want to set the right side there to output and make sure that's set to input. It is indeed. And there we go. We're getting refined fuel. I will put that over into a tank. And I reckon for now, we can probably empty out this tank in a nullifier. Where's our nearest nullifier? I think there's one right about here. And so if we just go ahead and throw that guy down right about there, we could set the side there to output. And there we go, we have some fuel. So let's get back to making that fuel loader. And let's see if this actually works. If we can actually load this into our rocket. I'm very much so hoping we can. I do believe that the fuel loader requires power. And so it might not be a terrible idea, chat, to maybe quickly hop on into this cube that I almost completely forgot about. And just grab one of these. How fast are we getting the fuel here? We're not getting the fuel particularly fast, but that's because we're not exporting the graphite dust, of course. Let me get an exporter. And please forgive the jankiness that I'm about to inflict upon this, what was previously a fairly clean room. But something like that should very quickly get us quite a large amount of refined fuel. And hopefully after that, we should be able to launch our rocket fairly easily. I'm not quite sure how much fuel we're going to need. Let me take the 2.5 buckets we've got here and try and get an idea of just how much that fills up our tank. So out here, we're going to have the fuel loader, which I've placed away, right next to our rocket. And again, you do have to be careful about where you place this. I think we want it down this way, because I think power goes in there, and then fuel goes out on that side, I think. We'll find out momentarily. If we put that tank in, that's going to unload. And it says stop loading, so I assume that loading is going to commence just as soon as I put down power. And make sure that's set to output. There we go. And I assume that is now loading the fuel in. It is indeed. And it's loading it in pretty quickly. It looks like we really don't need that many buckets of fuel in order to get this rocket up and running, which is very nice indeed. In fact, chat, it looks like 2.5 buckets was more than enough. Perfect. All right, so that is all of the fuel we needed there. And I think at that point, chat, we basically have everything that we need. What I will do is I will take my cube with me. The nice thing about having all of our stuff inside of this one cube is that I can just pick it up. And if we're missing anything, we can just put down our cube, put down the wireless terminal, and just grab it when we're in space, right? And I believe, presumably, that you do still have oxygen when you're inside the large compact machine, even if there's no oxygen in space. So I'm fairly certain, chat, that we can just launch here. But we do want to put on at least one of our oxygen tanks. We do, of course, have the other one inside of our cube, but I think for now the one will do us just fine. We have our gear, we have our parachute, we have a fully fueled up rocket. Chat, we should probably get rid of that tree, yeah? I don't know if that actually affects our ability to launch. And actually, is there a log here? There is. Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say, I'm surprised the leaves are still there. There we go. All right, chat. It's time to go to the moon. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chat, we have liftoff. Do you have enough fuel to come back? Again, it doesn't really matter because we have our base in the palm of our hands. If we need more fuel, we can just make more fuel. We've done it, chat. We started in a 3x3 cube, and now we're heading out. We're leaving the Earth behind. That's a really janky way to render the Earth right there. We're leaving the Earth behind, and we're heading for the stars, chat. All right. Oh boy, we got quite a few planets here. So we are headed to the moon, which I believe, yeah, is a subsection of Earth. So you click on Earth, click on moon, and then I believe we can launch. I do believe we have to hold space to slow down, which I am doing. I'm holding down the space key, chat. The space key is being held down. Our entry velocity has slowed right down to minus 10 meters per second. I may have slowed down too early, but I would rather be safe than sorry when it comes to crash landing onto the moon and losing all of our things. It looks like we're okay. I'm not quite sure what's happening with the, oh yeah, the space lander like way a bit at the top there. That's real trippy. Chat. We have done it. And I also think that we might possibly have landed directly next to the dungeon that we need to access. So of course, first things first, chat. If we do something like this, we should now be able to access all of our stuff. Oh, you love to see it. And if we pop back in, look at that. We're home sweet home, chat. We're on the moon, but we have everything we need right here. I love it. And let's grab that other oxygen tank. Again, I don't think we're going to need it necessarily, but it's nice to have nonetheless. And again, if we need anything while we're down fighting, moon monsters, we can always just grab it out of our system because the wireless crafting grid should be able to work basically anywhere on the moon now, which is very nice indeed. I think this crater here is... Oh, it's not a moon dungeon. Okay. It looks a little different. So, the quest requires us to hand in 10 moon rock, which I assume what this is. Oh, this is moon turf? Is it the same thing? It's not. I wonder if we have to dig down. Is this moon rock? That's moon dirt. I assume moon rock's maybe a little lower down. There it is. There we go. That should be 10. Quest complete. Perfect. And so now, if we want to get to Mars or Venus, I believe that to get to each progressive planet, we do have to defeat the dungeon on the previous planet. So we need to... Look at that. The blue villagers. Oh my goodness, I forgot about these guys. Freaking moon men right here. An alien villager. Got some Megamind looking heads right there. But I believe now we have to find a moon dungeon. And we need to defeat the moon dungeon to get the blueprint for the next rocket, I believe. Make sure you take a rocket out of the lander. I guess if we want to come back, we should take the rocket and probably also the fuel as well. Again, it's not a huge deal if we don't. We could make another one. Like, there's nothing that we're missing that, we can't make again because we have our cube here. If we really wanted to, chat, we could put down a little 3x3 cube and just start the pack all over again. So I'm fairly certain that no matter what we're fine, but obviously in an ideal world, we don't have to do that. I will take all of this out. There we go. And can we pick the lander back up, or is that just... I think it's just here now. That's fine. I will also take the coordinates. That's a fair point, chat. Let me screenshot that. 702, 60, 340. All right, let's see if we can't find a moon dungeon. Chat, this is it. This guy right here is what we're looking for. All right. Maybe we'll grab some torches. I think the torches do go out, actually, as soon as you place them. Yeah. And so in that case, do we have any glowstone? Actually, even better than that, chat, I think that the poop gives us night vision. It gives you blindness, and then it gives you night vision. So as soon as the blindness is gone, then we get a few minutes of night vision. It does come with the slightly wonky... Oh, hello, my friends. The slightly wonky downside that you get that blurred vision for a second, but that's fine. I should be using my bedrock pick, I think, here. Excuse me, my friend. I would like you to stop hitting me. Thank you. And you are doing nothing with your bows. Now, in fairness, chat, I'm very certain that given that these guys are not doing much damage, I don't think we actually have to fight these guys on the way. I will take some cheese curd, as well as, I don't need any of those, actually. But I'll take the cheese curd. That could be useful. I'll also take the frequency module. That seems like it could be useful as well. But I'm fairly certain we can just run past most of these guys on our way to what I believe is a boss fight right at the end of this dungeon. Did you bring food? Hello, my friend. Excuse me. I did not consent to... I beg your pardon, good sir. I would prefer it if you did not scream, and I would also very much prefer it if you didn't laugh at me. I take sincere offense at the hilarity that you are finding out of the situation. You are doing very little damage, my friend. What is this sound? I mean, we're gonna win this fight. Like, he is dying slowly but surely. He just keeps picking me up and throwing me. Excuse me, my friend. Please. The sound effect is something else, man. It's okay. He is very much so dead. One more hit, and he is done. Please, my friend, please. End this. There we go. There we go. Look at that. He loved it, chat. He's dancing. All right. I believe he should drop a key for that chest over there. Gosh, that is a horrible sound. But there we go. I has the key. Here we go. Boom. And boom. We have a NASA workbench schematic for the moon buggy. Unfortunately, I do not believe that's what we're after. I think we want the tier 2 rocket schematic, and so, unfortunately, chat, I think we are going to have to go and find and fight another one of these guys, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. We need to go now find one more dungeon and hope that that one has the Venus rocket schematic, so that we can then build our Venus rocket and leave. Look for a moon village. You can trade one blueprint for another. Really? Okay, hello, my blue-brained friends. I'm needing... Ah, I see. So we can equip the frequency module to be able to communicate with these guys. Interestingly, this guy's offering me fuel. But he wants lunar sapphires? Do we mine these? I wonder if I can find somebody who will trade me something for lunar sapphires, as opposed to just trading... Oh, I see. So we can trade the moon buggy with the lunar sapphires to get a tier 2 rocket. Can we mine lunar sapphires? Is that the idea? Yeah. But no one's willing to, it looks like they all have the same trades. Oh no, this guy will give me lunar sapphires for jungle saplings, of all things. So jungle saplings we can get by sifting jungle leaves. Is that a 100% chance? 20% chance. Let me just check that we want to use this, mesh. Oh no, our chances go up to 80% if we use the diamond mesh, chat. And again, bizarrely, I do think that we can, even if we don't have... Oh, we got the diamond nuggets. Perfect. Iron and diamond. Fantastic. I don't know how many trades I'm going to be able to do with this guy. Because really, I'll take as many blue sapphires as he is willing to give me. Can we plant the saplings on the moon? I think we might be able to, man. I think we could grow the jungle trees and then cut them down, right? To get even more? I'll do a few trades first, and because like he might, you know, eventually stop trading with me. Was it you? Do they all have this trade? It looks like they all have the same trade, so maybe this just works. Let's get some dirt. And let's set up like a little jungle tree farm out here. Let me check. Do they all have the same trades? They do. They all want different numbers of lunar saplings. But bizarrely, they all seem pretty up for trading me jungle for lunar, which I think I'm going to do. simply because, chat, it's going to make getting the canisters of fuel so much easier. I've been told that for the next tier of rocket, having this one, you have to make 2 tier 1 boosters which require filled fuel canisters, and this fuel has to be Galacticraft fuel, not just thermal expansion fuel. And so I think if we trade with these guys enough, though, we can get all the fuel we need. I'm fairly certain you don't need an oxygen bubble to grow a sapling on the moon. I don't think that's required at all. I could be mistaken, but I think that's only if you want to have oxygen. I do not believe the mechanics are so sophisticated as to require it for trees. They are not. Beautiful. And of course, our boron spaxel here is made up in such a way... Oh my goodness, goodbye. It's set up in such a way that it can break the logs instantly, which is very nice indeed. And now that we have the 1 sapling, or the 1 lunar sapphire in the buggy, though, we should be able to trade for the... Oh, we need 3, eh? So we should find whoever's doing, like, the cheapest deal on lunar sapphires. And then we can do this. And this. And that gets us the tier 2 rocket schematic there, which is perfect. Now, is there an easier way, chat, to get jungle leaves? Or jungle saplings? You can make 3 bonsai saplings from a regular sapling by using the bonsai cutters. Oh, I see, chat. I see the idea here. So you're saying we can cut the sapling to get 3, and then if we drop that in water, we get even more. Now, unfortunately, chat, we don't have water, and I do not. Oh, these guys do though. So we can cut all of those down, and then we can just drop all of these down here, and that's going to slowly but surely get us a ton of saplings that we can then recreate. Oh, wait, how many is that? That's 36. It's surprisingly slow with the water here. It's not that slow. I think it's definitely faster than using the than trying to cut the trees down. But not crazy fast. All right, how much are you offering here, my friend? Hopefully a reasonable price. 11. You're my best friend right now. Okay, those are done. That's 44 more. And then these are slowly but surely getting there. Perfect. All right. So that's a stack of 44. This guy is going to run out before we get enough there. Okay, 4 more. And then how much are you selling the fuel canister for? 4. It's a little pricier than your friend, but I'll take it. So we need 1 more fuel canister, I think. And we might be able to get it with the last stack of saplings that we have here, if we can find a good trade. 27 is just absurd. It's like someone charging you $15 for a cup of coffee. Get out of here. 30? You madman. This is some serious price gouging. $22 is still a little high. 29 is, again, insane. 31 is just silly. Hello, you seem like a sensible man. You're a homeowner, I see. 19? 19 could be okay, depending on how much you're selling your gas for. 4, eh? That makes it a little less ideal. I am going to trade with this guy. We need 1 more, like, crystal. Which means we need just a few more saplings. Hello. I would like 1 more of your finest sapphires. Thank you. And then I would like 1 of your finest fuel canisters as well. Beautiful. All right. So we've got 4 fuel canisters now, chat. I'm going to take a screenshot of these coordinates so we can come back here if we need to and get more more sapphires. I'm fine leaving those civs there for now. Let's head back to our base, which I think is over in this direction. We do need to get meteors, and quite a few of them as well. So we're probably going to have to do some surface scanning to try and get more of these. Because right now we have... Oh, that one gave us 3, I guess. So well, it gave us 2, I guess. We got 3 total. We do need quite a few. So we need at least 10 for the center of the rocket. And then if we're going to make the rocket fins, the engine, and the nose are the same as before. But then if we're going to make the boosters, we need 8 more. So we need 18 meteoric iron. All right. And we have 3. So I think, chat, that we might have to do a little bit of exploration here to see if we can't find some more meteoric iron. I don't know how rare or not rare the meteoric iron is. I'm hoping it's not super rare. We have found 2 fairly easily. Although we did see one kind of crash down next to us. I don't know if we have to wait for them to land, or if they... Oh, I see one right there. Or if they just kind of appear passively. Also, don't touch them. They are hot. And they sink. Meteors fall over time within 25 chunks of you. I see. So we want to circle our current perimeter and try and find ones that have fallen nearby. Perfect. All right. So we now have 18. Let me just real quick check that that is indeed correct here. So we need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 heavy-duty plate here. Each is made from 1 raw meteoric iron. So yeah, that's 10. We then need the nose cone, the rocket fins, and the engine, none of which require meteoric iron. We also need 2 tier 1 boosters. Each one of those requires 4 meteoric iron in the form of compressed meteoric iron. And so with 2 thrusters, we need 8 compressed meteoric iron, plus the initial 10 is 18. So I think, Chad, that we are good to go. I think we have all of the meteoric iron that we need. And so we shouldn't... Look at that, Chad. I had no idea, actually, that we were so close to the base, but here we are. We're back at our rocket. That is very nice indeed. I was just about to open up my screenshot to see where my coordinates were, but as it turns out, we're right here, back at our base. So, chat, I think that is probably where I'm going to wrap up today's stream. We'll come back next time, and we'll see if we can't make a tier 2 rocket. We'll head on through to Venus. We'll obviously have to combine up our partially filled fuel canisters into actually filled fuel canisters in order to be able to build the thrusters, so that we can head on through to Venus. Once we get to Venus, we have to fight through another dungeon to get the... Oh, sorry, once we get to Mars, I believe we have to fight through another dungeon to get to Venus, so we can get the tier 3 rockets. The tier 3 rocket requires some compressed dash. Dash, I believe we can find on Mars. So we're going to have to do a similar thing when we go to Mars to find what we're after there. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. All right. So we're back home. We can, of course, go ahead and recharge our oxygen tanks here. Boom. And we can obviously use those again in the next stream. But yeah, I think with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there.